Hey guys, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your weekend tarot reading for December 7th and 8th of 2019. So the sun is still in Sag. We have the moon moving from Aries and into Taurus by the end of the weekend. And we're going to see how this weekend plays out. I have a new deck that I want to use and it's unnamed. I'll show you it in just a minute. I'm not going to use it for the main spread. I'm going to use it in a really fun way here. So, let's see how this weekend plays out. Let me fix this here real quick. There we go. All right. So we're using the Hobbit Tarot here. If you guys haven't, do check out your monthly reads for December. They are up. Also, if you are not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. And even if you are somebody who watches often, and if you subscribed before, just make sure, because YouTube has been unsubscribing me from people that I know I'm subscribed to. I don't know what's going on with it the past couple months, so just double check that, because that's been happening to me quite a bit lately. I've been really like, what's going on here? I know I subscribed to a lot of the channels that suddenly I'm not anymore. So anyways, let's get into this energy though, okay? Let's see what's going on this weekend. I feel like there's a really strong need to push ahead. The Aries moon is really making us want to push forward here, especially with now Jupiter in Capricorn. We're going to want to start fighting for what we want. Let me just roll up my sleeves here. It's quite cold, actually, in here. And I couldn't do this without a sweatshirt today. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's see. We'll take you. Ooh. He came right out. I feel like there's one more, possibly. One more. None of them are coming up upright. Interesting, but we're going to see how that plays out. All right. And let me just shake up this new deck here a little bit. I got this deck actually, a client of mine, Dave, thank you, came into the shop the other day and gave this to me. It's very cool. He actually said he got it for like $8. I believe it even came from Spencer's, which is such a strange place to find this deck. It has some really amazing illustrations on it. It's all, I don't want to say cryptids, but all mythical monsters and creatures from all different cultures and throughout the ages. And they're all the different, major and minor arcana. And it's really cool. So I'm going to use this to look at what our challenges are here in this spread. So we do have some challenging energy in terms of wanting to push forward, but also needing to kind of find a better way forward with this situation. It just feels like there's a bit of disorganization to this. There's a need to kind of pause and re-strategize and connect more in a stabilized, serious way. Ooh, finally we get one out. Ah, yep. Empress has come out twice. We're going to talk about that. When cards mirror themselves that way, I can't help but feel that there is, this is resonating in a deeper, more spiritual sense, and especially so if you are a spiritual person, a reader yourself, somebody who's in your own kind of spiritual awakening. I don't know. Special message to you guys when you get doubles here, like from two different decks, but we're getting repeating cards. So the first card out here is the Lovers. We have a choice this weekend. There is choice of path, and it feels like you're ready to step into something, ready to go forward here. But, I mean, conflicting with this Seven of Wands energy, we have the Hangman facing it. You know, I'm trying to push forward. I want to keep fighting. I've got, you know, a fire under my boots here, and I want to start running towards this. I need to do this. And yet, the Hanged Man is very... He just feels, especially next to the Four of Cups here, that there is a major... I don't want to say major roadblocks in the traditional sense, but more in a spiritual sense, and in a need to shift your mindset out of a negative place. You need to be more present in your spiritual life and in your emotions, almost. You know, what makes you comfortable this weekend? Because there is, underneath this all, a lack of energy due to, again, the basilisk here, which is the Nine of Swords. See, I love this. This is very cool. Nine of Swords is really all in your head. Yes, it's a terrible, horrible feeling of dread, and everything's going wrong, and everything has failed, and, you know, there are major delays, and I can't push past them, and what's wrong with me in this situation, and it's all going to fall apart. It's all those fears that start coming home to roost when we hit, you know, after we make a decision with such gusto to run into it, that we're hitting this wall of really not having the energy that we need. Ace of Wands is reversed here as well. What is he? The Salamander. I really like that. There's a lack of energy here, and a lack of an ability to really have enough to drive forward into whatever it is you want to do. The Four of Cups says, yeah, we're going to have to be sitting, especially with the Hanged Man, in our dissatisfaction, but it's in these moments, you know, here we have the Empress and the Hobbit deck, which is, you know, the group. They're about to push forward. They're all, you know, on the same journey together here. They've created their own family throughout this. They manifest, you know, their ends by, you know, pushing forward, by doing what needs to be done on their journey. I mean, that's just the whole thing. I don't even know how I could sum up the Hobbit on how it is the Empress right now, but you know it, that you know the energy of the Empress. It's manifestation. It's really quite a satisfied, luxurious feeling. I mean, it's Venusian, and yet the Empress in this deck is Kali, the Destroyer. And I think that this is such a perfect card for now that Uranus is in Taurus for the next 7 years. Yes, she's the mother, but she's also the destroyer. She's also coming in to knock things down, to transform what needs to be transformed. And it feels very much like this kind of happens for you on a more mental and psychic level. If you decide, you know, against all this energy and this need to push forward, this need to continue on, this need to get to our goals, if we kind of step back and allow, you know, this lack of energy, this lack of ability to really push forward at this time, this dissatisfaction with where we're at, if we kind of sit in this and find a way almost to be comfortable, find a place of comfort, because right now it just feels like we need to kind of focus our energy more appropriately and find a better path forward. You can't rush through to whatever end goal you're trying to get to. And I think the Empress here showing up twice also says that, because it is, for me, a card of Taurus, a card of taking things slowly. You know, it takes a long time in that mother energy to birth a child, to create life. She's never rushing. She kind of just sits where she is and allows things to come. But look at what comes out reversed. The devil, the demon. I'm going to put it up right just because I think it's such a cool design here. When you get that reverse, we're breaking major ties to things that have held us back. And again, like the Nine of Swords and the Devil for me just kind of go hand in hand. They're illusory blockages, problems in our life, you know, issues, you know, addictions, attachments that are not really that real, that we make up in our head or we attach ourselves to in a more mental sense than what they really do deserve. So whatever blocks you, you know, is in your head here, but it's also a need to shift in terms of a headspace. I know that sounds like a really complicated message, but you need to shift in terms of how you're going about this journey. It's not something that you can be rushing through. And the need, especially if this is a career thing, for wealth, for domination, for getting what you want and what you desire immediately, it's just kind of almost like dipping into a more spiritual place and comfort of where you are now, and knowing that it will come in time, but right now you have to release this need, you know, release the need, the neediness of it all. Page of Swords again comes up, the Headless Horseman. Take the head off your fears. I really like that, actually. I really love the Page of Swords as the Headless Horseman. But we see him twice. You see two things that are twice, that come about twice, and that really speaks to me again. When you get into that Empress headspace, sit where you are, find comfort, do something you enjoy, and stop trying to push forward towards this insane end goal that, I mean, if you really look at it from a different perspective, you're going to be like, okay, well, this needs a lot more steps to it. This is going to take time. It's going to take energy. It's going to take more than obviously what I have right now. And I need to come at this from a different perspective and a different angle, from a different headspace. And it comes after you've learned something, after we've had downloads. And that can really, again, only come when we decide to sit down, enjoy the energy, be like the Empress, wait for it to come to us, and just kind of sit. There's a need to surrender to the energy and just be comfortable where you are, and that brings about the destruction of, it feels like, all the things that held you back, which again, you have to remember here, are really in your mind. If you fear failure this weekend about something that you can't really go full into right now, and you're not seeing the results of, it's going to come eventually, but you have to wait. Patience is required. And surrender to what the energies are asking you to do now. All right, let's pull, do I want to pull a Doreen Virtue? I don't know, actually. You know what? Fine, we'll pull one. It feels a little bit more to me than a simple love situation, but for maybe some of you it is. So let's see. Check out the love readings, guys. I am working on those. I think I have Taurus, Sagittarius, and Pisces up. I'm going to try to get more done today. I thought I was going to be able to do a bunch tomorrow, but I forgot that I committed to something tomorrow all day. So hopefully by Monday, we'll have a lot more, or hopefully the rest of them up. So I got to start getting towards your January and 2020 stuff soon. And again, guys, I have a special right now for the rest of the year, half off any 20-minute or longer reading. You can give readings as gifts. You can get one yourself. All the information is below this video in the description box. You can just email me if you're interested. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And yeah, this is like, yeah, we're realizing where we kind of put our fence around how this should be. Even if it's not a love situation, you put a fence on how... Put a fence around your, what is it? What is the word I'm looking for? You've created boundaries that never needed to be there. Boundaries in your mind, boundaries in order to how you're going to get there. You need to restructure your boundaries and your entire perspective of this whole situation. It's time to take back control of your life by freeing yourself of how you've locked yourself into this position. Of why you believe you can't push forward. Or again, what inhibits you from pushing forward? Who inhibits you from pushing forward? The underworld, where all things pause and begin again. This is my Stacey DeMarco Halloween Oracle deck. I love this Oracle deck. You guys know that. And this is one of my... I mean, I feel like I say this about every card, but like this is truly one of my top cards in this deck. It is just so cool. It's very Scorpio. We got the pomegranate here. We got the skull, which to me always reminds me of Persephone's journey with Hades into the underworld. Oh, it's such a beautiful card here. All right, so let's see. Should the underworld card be present in your reading, you are being asked to consider exactly what you have to do to transform your life into something you find easier or more authentic to you. This may involve changing course. It may involve trials and tests. Keep moving. While things may fall away and your life may appear bare for a time, this is temporary. Space is being made into which you can create the new. And honestly, the fruit here almost reminds me of a temptation. You might even be tempted to go about things from old ways, or, you know, attack a situation in an old perspective or with old energy that doesn't suit you anymore. Learn to grow from that. You know, there could be temptations, as, you know, fruit does in many mythologies and in many circumstances throughout history. Fruit is seen as temptation, and it is what tempted Persephone to she bit the beautiful, delicious pomegranate, and then she had to stay down there for like half the year, the rest of her existence, forever, with Hades in hell. So try not to be tempted today to do things a way that you know, try not to be tempted in order to, you know, try to rush things, to push things where they cannot be pushed. Surrender to the need to pause and look at this from a different perspective, because then you will be able to manifest the reality that you've wanted. Big messages. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you in the monthlies. I'll see you in the love readings. And if you want to book a reading, again, half off 20-minute and longer readings the rest of the month. And yeah, guys, have a wonderful and blessed day. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to share if you enjoyed it, and comment below. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great weekend. Namaste.